1MDB has sparked embezzlement and money laundering investigations across
one of the
at least
biggest
10
corruption
countries.
scandals the world has ever seen.
What may be the biggest financial scam in history.
A number of corrupt 1MDB officials treated this public trust as a personal bank account.
Follow us as we bring you into the courtroom where the biggest financial scandal in Malaysian history is being heard. By the Malaysian Insight, this is the Najib Razak 1MDB trial, and I'm Patrick Teo. 1MDB unknowingly sent money to Goodstar not once, but twice. In 2009, the company sent Goodstar $700 million, and then in 2011, it transferred another $330 million. That's more than $1 billion into the wrong account. Former 1MDB CEO Shahrol Halmi, however, maintained that he was under the impression that Goodstar was a subsidiary of PetroSaudi. Hence, he had no reason to be suspicious of anything. Proceedings today involved defense lawyer Shafi Abdullah going through more documents with the prosecution's ninth witness, Shahrol. Shafi directed Shahrol to an agreement that sought to convert 1MDB's $1.2 billion Murabaha notes into interest in PetroSaudi Oil Services Limited. We'll shorten that to PSOSL. In order to discuss the agreement, Shahrol said 1MDB's board of directors had visited PetroSaudi's office in London. Together with Tariq Obaid and Patrick Mahoney, they had a board meeting in Najib's hotel room. Tariq co-founded PetroSaudi with Prince Turki of Saudi Arabia, while Patrick was a director at the company. Is it true that 1MDB's board was quite impressed with what was presented by PetroSaudi on the Murabaha financing? Shafi asked. Yes, the witness confirmed. The notes, which were converted into interest in PSOSL, were then converted into units in Brazen Sky Limited, a company set up by fugitive businessman Joe Low. Shahrol had earlier described the company as a vehicle to repatriate 1MDB's investments into PSOSL to Malaysia. Next, the lawyer brought up a director's circular resolution dated May 16, 2011. The resolution sought to grant approval for 1MDB to invest an additional 1 billion ringgit or $330 million under the Murabaha financing agreement. The money was supposed to be transferred to the 1MDB PetroSaudi joint venture company, but surprise, surprise, it wasn't. For the second time around, 1MDB had remitted money directly into the accounts of Goodstar Limited, Joe Low's company. If you recall, in 2009, 1MDB had transferred $700 million into Goodstar's account. Shahrol was asked by the then 1MDB chairman, Lodin Wok Kamarudin, to recover the money. Back to the $330 million. In the transfer forms, Goodstar's name was never mentioned. Only an account number was given. Were you not suspicious? Shafi queried. No, because I thought Goodstar was an affiliate of PSI, Shahrol answered. By May 2011, Shahrol said that the total amount transferred to both the joint venture company and Goodstar amounted to $1.83 billion. And by this time, 1MDB no longer had a stake in the JV. The lawyer suggested that 1MDB was negligent as they had not done any due diligence before sending the money, but Shahrol disagreed. When the lawyer asked Shahrol why PetroSaudi would conceal the identity of the beneficiary, the witness said he could not testify as to why they did it. Although in hindsight, it was odd they did not just explicitly say Goodstar as they did in the 2009 transaction. Prosecutor Gopal Sriram objected to Shafi's line of questioning, saying its direction was not clear. Shafi was unfazed. He said the defense was trying to prove that Najib was not fully aware of the details of the transactions. Even Shahrol, who was the CEO and handled the documents, was not aware of illicit activities in 1MDB, the lawyer remarked. Here's what Shafi said. The same witness made the imputations of my client's guilt when my client does not have the benefit of these documents. I want to make him swallow his own vomit and to pose to him, why are you not acting consistently when these documents have come to you over and over again? Despite having agreed to send PetroSaudi $330 million, 1MDB was only able to remit $205 million in May 2011. It turned out that they didn't have enough funds. They needed whatever they had for the Tun Razak Exchange Financial Centre and Bandar Malaysia Transit Hub projects. So what did Shahrol do? If you guessed that he went to Joe Low, you'd be right. Joe told Shahrol to write a letter to PetroSaudi about their predicament. He added that PetroSaudi was disappointed and unhappy with the delay. The businessman also informed Shahrol that PetroSaudi had complained to Daddy, in reference to King Abdullah, Prince Turki's father. However, Shahrol said, now that he knows the money never went to the JV company, the Prince Turki incident might have been cooked up by Joe. Hindsight 2020. Before wrapping up for the day, Shafi asked the witness when he began to suspect that Goodstar might not be PetroSaudi's subsidiary. Shahrol said it was after reading a series of news articles that he began to question Joe if he was the owner of Goodstar. I asked Joe to explain, but he said Goodstar was owned by PetroSaudi and would get them to write a letter to confirm, the witness said. PetroSaudi eventually did send a letter, but Shahrol agreed that the letter claiming ownership of Goodstar was deceptive and false. And that was it for today. The 1MDB trial will continue next week. This podcast was brought to you by the Malaysian Insight. The team behind the Najib Razak 1MDB podcast are Revati Supramaniam, Yap Pek Kwan and Yvonne Lim. Bead Hong provided additional reporting, and I'm Patrick Teo.